very, very important because it's a process that one has to go through to elect the one who will govern the state. And also is one of the electoral process or democratic processes that you have in declaring democracy, because without this action then there will be no transition. So it's very, very important.
Now, aside from the fact that the process itself is important, what about the person out of the 23 who will emerge as the People's Democratic Party's candidate eventually?
Well, I think that is yet to be decided, and one would not tell you who would emerge as the winner of this contest. But one thing is sure, like I've seen, I'm very glad that all the aspirants here were allowed to enter the venue and then make sure they were all lined up, and then the delegate will vote according to their conscience. And again, where some of the aspirants had a different view or observations, have been allowed to air their opinion and make a statement of what is their feeling about this contest. So that is quite important because everybody's been given a chance to serve and behave the way he wants to behave. I think this is quite important.
Well, we have seen too that the process is quite open, as in the context of what is happening here. I mean, we can see very openly how can the delegates are walking towards the ballot boxes and casting their ballots pretty openly too. But then, what about the intrigues that are playing out behind the scenes? Can you tell us in all confidence and in all honesty that this has been free and fair and open right from the very beginning?
Well, the issue of intrigues is the one I might not be able to tell, because having not been an aspirant, I might not have taken note of the various intrigues behind the curtain. But the one I've seen here is that I want to be quite sincere that the delegates here are quite peaceful and orderly. The intrigues I am not part, I cannot say exactly, because I don't know what has gone behind the curtain. Because having not been an aspirant, I might not have taken interest in what is going behind the curtain. That's the one I cannot say. But however, it's all the electoral process. It's a matter of one big man some time ago defined politics as a game of reason in how to share national resources. So, it's part of the game. So that's the one I cannot tell. Like if I were an aspirant, I would have studied the situation. I would have looked into both the behind the curtain and the covering to know what is happening inside. But as a delegate, I just come out here, and then what I'm observing is the one I've observed here.
Thank you very much, Senator Etok.
Thank you.
Well, I've been talking with Senator Aloysius Etok, one of the delegates and, a very distinguished senator of the National Assembly as well. Well, at the moment, I am being joined this time around, not exactly a politician, but he actually runs one of the very important government organizations here in the Niger Delta, talking about the NDDC, the Niger Delta Development Commission. And, well, I'm being joined by Chief Barrister Dan Abia, the Managing Director of the NDDC. Well, it's actually rather strange because we know that a lot of times when we see you, it is commissioning one project or the other of the NDDC, and now you are in the thick of a political process in Akwa Ibom State, albeit your home state. Now, yes. How does it feel?
Thank you so much for the compliments. The primaries to select who takes over from Governor Pablo is of great significance to any serious-minded person in these states and even beyond, because of the standard, the very high performance that Governor Pablo has set. We have interest in ensuring that whoever takes over from him should go through due process, peaceful process, because at the end of the day, we still have to come home, work as a team to move the state forward. That explains why I had to take time off from my commissioning and inspection of project to also inspect. That's why the task I'm carrying. I'm not a delegate, I'm not an aspirant, I'm an observer as a major stakeholder and interested person, not just in this state, in the region, and of course by extension, I should have interest in what happens in my country.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, a matter of yours actually is a matter of infrastructure development and generally the welfare of the people of the Niger Delta. Well, you are here as an observer, as it is to observe who will emerge as the candidate who, well, might likely emerge as the governor of Akwa Ibom State, which is neither here nor there because we still have the polls to contend with. But then, whoever emerges from this process, what would you be telling the person?
Well, first of all, before we get to the person, the process. I came in here shortly before I had official engagement here anyway. So I stayed over the weekend. So I observed the primaries for the election of the members of State House of Assembly. I also observed the process that led to the election of members of the National Assembly. And I also read news, watch television. I must first confess and commend all the stakeholders of this state for the very peaceful conduct of the primaries, including this one that I had to come in physically. I didn't want to watch it on the television. So having said that, first of all, I thank God, I thank the leadership of PDP. I'm here not at the partisan level, but to observe that due process. I thank God for the peaceful conduct of this primary. That's the first thing I want to observe. My expectation is that whoever takes over from Governor Papi knows that he has a very big shoe to wear. He must reassess himself. If he hasn't done that, he must consult widely and come up with a clear blueprints and program, because if he doesn't do that, I think the shortcoming will be so obvious, considering the standard His Excellency Governor Pabio has set. Please, like I said, I came to observe. I'm not a delegate, so if you don't mind, I think I'm just satisfied with what I've seen so far. And I commend the delegate, even the aspirant, and I hope this process will continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Barrister Dan Abia.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Well then,
Dan. The TV of the year, I think so. TV of the night of the year.
Among other awards.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Keep it up.
We'll do that.
Don't be partisan. Give an observed, informed. You can have an opinion, but let it be backed with fact. Thank you very much.
Always do that.
I know. Keep it up. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well then, we bask in the compliments offered by the Managing Director, CEO of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Barrister Dan Abia, who is here in the capacity of an observer, even as delegates of the People's Democratic Party in Akwa Ibom State, as you see behind me here, are casting their ballots for 25, or should I say 23, because 23 are here represented aspirants, one of whom will emerge as the governorship candidate on the platform of the People's Democratic Party when this process is over. Well, here in the main bowl of the Eagles' nest, no, the nest of champions actually. Well, the Eagles probably will not be wearing that tag for a while, but this is the nest of champions, the Akwa Ibom National Stadium, where we have the People's Democratic Governorship primary still unfolding, and we will be keeping you abreast of the developments here as